everybody. So we have a nice calm flight. I think the trip was great. We had a lot of good response, even from the fake news. And I think Greenland's going very well. It's in negotiation. And I think what we did today was great. It was great. That's going to be a great board. That'll be a board, I think, like no other. Right? That's a board like no other. A lot of people joining. We just went out with the letters. A lot of people are joining. Now we have a flight back, and we'll be landing in 4 hours and 45 minutes. And I'm going to be very late for dinner, but that'll be okay.
What are some of the elements of the Greenland concept that you can tell? There was
really a negotiation, but it's infinity. The time limit is infinity, meaning there is no time limit. It's forever. It's you hear about 99 years, 50 years. It's forever. That was discussed. We can do anything we want. We can do military. We can do anything we want. And it's being negotiated, and let's see what happens. I think it'll be good.
Would the U.S. have
no price? There's no purchase price.
Would the U.S. have pockets of sovereignty over parts?
We have a lot of great things in the deal, and don't forget they're also good for Europe. Because when we're good, they're good, and if we're not good, that's not very good for them. Because we hold it all together. We're holding it all together.
Does that actually give you control of land in Greenland? Does it give U.S. control ownership of land?
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. Yeah. We're all going to work together, and actually NATO is going to be involved with us. We're going to be doing in conjunction, parts of it in conjunction with NATO, which is really the way it should be.
But to be clear, will the U.S. own that?
We won't have any expense because we're not going to have expense. Other than building the Golden Dome, we're going to build the Golden Dome. And we'll have participation in that also. The cost of the Golden Dome, we'll have participation in that also, meaning with the expense of it. And it'll be like no other. I mean, our technology is incredible.
Is Denmark signed off on this? Are they on board with this concept? Is Denmark on board with this concept?
I think everyone likes it. I mean, I think. I'll let you know in about 2 weeks.
Have you spoken with Denmark about this plan?
Secretary General Mark is a great guy. He's a great guy, and he's spoken to everybody.
And when you spoke with the NATO Secretary General, did you talk about U.S. military presence in Greenland? About military
We talked about everything, and you saw him yesterday. He was interviewed on Brett Baer, and he was very happy. He was very convinced this is a good deal for everybody.
On Ukraine, how did your conversation go with President Zelensky?
We had a conversation. I've had numerous conversations on Ukraine. It'd be nice to end that war. It costs us nothing. We make money. I don't want to make money, but we make money. Whereas Biden spent $350 billion stupidly and lost a lot of money. But it's not about the money. It's about 25 to 30,000 soldiers a month, mostly soldiers.
Are you ready to
A month of being killed.
Do you think that did you sign the security seal? Are you able to sign that?
Rikov and Jared are right now on the way to Moscow, so we'll see how that works out.
What kind of
I had a good meeting, but I've had numerous good meetings with President Zelensky, and it doesn't seem to happen. It's funny. I put out a 35-year war in a day, a 32-year war in 2 days, and other wars. The worst was like 4 days. And this one goes on and on forever, and actually they may have been more complex.
Do you think that the trilateral that the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine are having in Abu Dhabi this weekend leads to a trilateral between you, Putin, and Zelensky?
Look, it's all good. Anytime we meet, it's good. If you don't meet, nothing's going to happen. I mean, for the first 3 years, nobody met. Under Biden, nobody met. And one thing, if you don't meet, nothing's going to happen. So we are meeting, and we'll see what happens. I hope we can save a lot of lives. That's all.
Mr. President, what kind of concessions does Vladimir Putin need to make at this point?
I mean, he'll make concessions. Everybody's making concessions to get it done. Europe is going to be a part of it. It's got to be a part of it. Look, it's more for Europe than for me. I mean, I'm doing this more for Europe than for me. I'm doing it to save lives, number one. I'm doing it secondarily for Europe. I'm not doing it so much for the U.S. It doesn't affect us very much. Other than the loss of lives, you know, we're not affected by this. You know, it's thousands of miles away. We're separated by an ocean. But I have an ability to get things done like this, and we'll see if I can get it done. I mean, it would never have gotten done. I thought Putin wanted the whole thing. Maybe he does, but he's not gonna be going there unless we don't make a deal. But we had a good meeting today with President Zelensky. I think a very good meeting.
What's the main holdup? What's the main holdup to getting a deal?
The main holdup is the same things that have been holding it up for the last year. Look, this is a war. This is Biden's war. This isn't my war. This is a war that should have never happened. But it's complex because you have beats and bounds. You have streets. You have rivers. You have everything. You know, where does it end? So it's a little bit complicated. But I've had that in 5 of the other wars. You know, there are beats and bounds. It's a location. It's boundaries. And I got them done fast in days. And this one is just going on. You know, what's happened here is there were times when Putin didn't want to make a deal, times when Zelensky didn't want to make a deal, and it was like opposite times. Now I think they both want to make a deal, but we'll find out.
Did something change that makes you think that Putin and Zelensky now are serious about it?
I don't make any predictions. There are no changes. I think that President Putin would like to make a deal. I think that President Zelensky would like to make a deal.
What did Zelensky say today? I mean, he came all the way there to meet you. What did he say?
He said he'd like to make a deal. I mean, you know, there's not much you can say. People know the parameters. It's not like, you know, we're discussing things that have been discussed for 6 or 7 months, and he came and he said he wants to make a deal because I wasn't necessarily sure. I think he should want to make a deal. It's pretty tough. It's really tough on the people of Ukraine. I'll tell you that.
Mr. President,
How they live without heat, where it's 20 degrees below zero. You know, it's very cold. That's a colder climate for the most part than Canada. And they live without heat. I asked him, I mean, how do they do that? And he gave me an answer. It's pretty amazing what they do to live. It's no way to live. Yeah.
back to Greenland. Can you elaborate more on just, we're trying to understand what exactly the concept is here. Is the U.S. going to actually take ownership of it?
We'll have something in 2 weeks. There's a good spirit to get something done, and we have to have a strong freedom. We have to have the ability to do exactly what we want to do. We have a great military. I built a great military. I did this in my first term. And continuation, big continuation. I think what we did with the defense companies was very important too, because we need things faster. We have the best weapons in the world by far. We showed that last week with Venezuela. We have the best weapons in the world. We have to make them faster.
How would it be any different than the current situation? The U.S. can...
Much different, much more detailed, much more generous to the United States. It's a much more generous deal, has to be. And we're building a Golden Dome, and you see the way it works. That is so much better for us and for Europe to have that piece of ice covered by the Golden Dome.
You mentioned Venezuela. You've expressed optimism in your relationship with Delcy Rodriguez. Are you inclined to let her stay in power?
Well, right now they're very strong leadership. I mean, they're showing very strong leadership. I also spoke with Maria today, and you know who I like a lot. But Delcy's shown very strong leadership so far, I have to say. And we're moving in, you know, to the United States, millions of barrels of oil as we speak. You know that. You see it. You see what's happening. Over 50 million barrels of oil is already moved or moving into the United States, and much more to come. And we're working with them, and they'll get some of that, and we're going to get some of that. And it'll be divided up, and our country will become richer, and that means our taxes are going to be going down, and they will do better. Venezuela is going to do better than they've ever done.
So if that continues,
Even with us, taking a very fair piece of it, Venezuela will do better by far than they've ever done. Going to be very rich, and she has done a very good job.
Have you spoken with Jamie Dimon since the lawsuit?
No, I haven't spoken to him. No, he debanked me, so we'll see if that means anything. But I think it should. You shouldn't be debanked. You get debanked if you don't have money or if you default, and you have this great company, and all of a sudden I was told, no, you can't do that. It's so wrong. That's so wrong. I don't know what their excuse would be. Maybe their excuse would be the regulators. I don't know. But regardless, I guess it's a good lawsuit because every pundit has come out and said Trump has a great lawsuit here.